Here's your Canadians Abroad weekly recap. Jonathan David scored a hat-trick for Lille over the weekend in a 3-0 win for his side. He's now up to 11 goals on the season and is now joint tied for second place in the league goal-scoring charts, only behind Kylian Mbappe. David is hitting form at the right time leading up to the March window for Canada, and on top of that, there has been some rumors linking him to multiple clubs, and with his contract expiring in 2025, this is a perfect response from the Canadian striker. Kyle Larin gets himself an assist for Mallorca over the weekend in a 2-1 loss against Real Sociedad. With the assist, Larin now has 2 goals and 1 assist in La Liga this season and has 6 goals and 2 assists in all competitions. Tajon Buchanan made some history this past weekend as he came on for his Inter debut and became the first active Canadian men's player to feature in a Serie A match. Buchanan wasn't on the pitch for very long, but I guarantee he excited some Inter fans. He was doing step-overs, taking on defenders, he looked energized, he looked confident. He's an exciting player and I can't wait to see what he can do for Inter going forward. Great news for Canadian soccer fans as Alphonso Davies has returned back to training. Not only is he running, but he's back on the ball as well. Sparta Rotterdam won 4-2 over the weekend, and Charles Andreas Brim scored the final goal of the match, and it was probably one of the easiest goals he will ever score. The opposing keeper came up for a corner, and shortly after, Brim was sent through on goal with no one in sight and tapped it home. He now has 4 goals and 1 assist so far this season in all competitions. Ike Ugbo scores once again for Sheffield Wednesday, and he's really starting to find some form with his new club. That's 3 goals in 3 matches. He's up to 7 goals on the season, and he's in the type of form right now you want going into an all-important knockout match against Trinidad and Tobago. Our Canadian strikers are flying at the moment, but when you are scoring goals and the goals just kind of seem to find you, your confidence is growing. This is a type of player that must be in the window, and Ugbo has a role to play. Simon Koline scored over the weekend for De Grasse Schaap, picking up his 5th goal of the season, and he now has 11 goal contributions in 23 appearances so far this campaign. Koline probably isn't ready for a Canada call-up quite yet, but he's a very exciting player doing some good work in the Netherlands. He's versatile as well. He can play as a winger, a box-to-box midfielder, a 10. He's a profile that I think is very intriguing for Canada, and I can't wait to see what he can do in the future. Junior Hoilett has signed for Aberdeen this past week, linking up with former boss Neil Warnock. This move makes a lot of sense for both parties. Junior Hoilett needs to get fit and hopefully play in this summer's Copa America, while Aberdeen just needed a little bit of creativity and experience from the flanks. Hoilett has already made his debut for Aberdeen, coming on as a late sub over the weekend, and I'm very excited to see what he can do there. Once again, Theo Bair can just not stop scoring. He scored a brace midweek against Aberdeen, and I think it's fair to say that he's the most informed Canadian striker at the moment. Motherwell did blow a 3-0 lead and ended up drawing Aberdeen 3-3, but Bair is still on fire. He has scored 8 goals in his last 7 league matches, and he is absolutely deserving of a Canada call-up, and I really want to see him for our match against Trinidad and Tobago. Midweek, Liam Miller scored a beautiful goal for Preston North End, and he was also the man of the match in a 2-1 win over Middlesbrough. Miller's strong season in the championship continues as he is now up to 4 goals and 5 assists this campaign. I think Miller is one of those players who could start for Canada given his form this season, but more than likely will be an impact sub. Former Canadian Premier League star Marco Bustos got his Varnamo season off to a great start as he came off the bench and scored a penalty in their 2-0 win in the Cup. I'm really hoping that Bustos can have a breakout season in Sweden this campaign because he definitely has the talent to do so. Julia Grosso has been in some great goal-scoring form lately, and she picked up another goal in Juventus' 4-1 win over Napoli and now has 5 goals this campaign. Marie Yasmin Aladou picked up right where she left off over the weekend and scored another brace, and she's now up to 23 goals and 3 assists in all competitions in her debut season with Benfica. It's super excited to see her on this type of form, and I can't wait to see her in action in the Gold Cup. Adriana Leon scored in her 2nd straight WSL game over the weekend. She had a nice run and a cool finish, scoring Aston Villa's opener in a 2-1 win over Tottenham. With that goal, she's now up to 6 goals in all competitions, and I think it's fair to say that she's found a home in Villa. Chloe Lacasse is rolling for Arsenal as she helps them pick up a 3-1 win over Manchester United. She scored a goal in the match, she now has 5 goals and 2 assists on the season, and she's really starting to make things happen. It's being reported by James Sharman that Thierry Henry has an interest in the Canadian men's national team coaching job. This has created a ton of debate because yes, Thierry Henry is a very attractive name. He's experienced at club level, national team level, and he will definitely help with our dual Nats recruitment process. However, I think it's fair to say that his time with Montreal, Monaco, and his 2nd spell with the Belgium national team were very disappointing, and right now he's in charge of the French U21s and the Olympic team, so at the bare minimum, we wouldn't be able to get him until after the Olympics, which means more than likely we would stick with Biello through the Copa America.